Hey friends, and welcome back to Channel Surf. If this is your first time here, I'm Jazz and I watch a shit ton of TV. And y'all, we have reached the end of the road, okay? Potomac, the Real Housewives of Potomac, it's almost over. We did it. But of course, to talk about the pre-season finale, I needed to bring on a very special creator. Now, this girl, this woman, I should say, she comes across my timeline a lot. She probably comes across yours. And she starts all of her videos. Hello, we are back. Something to that nature. I love it though. Please welcome the doll. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. I'm so happy to
Alrighty.
have
We are here.
you.
We are back. Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
say it again for me.
Alrighty. We are here. We are back.
I love it. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yes, lock in, girl. Where's the popcorn? My show is on. So yeah, I'm so excited to have you. Like I said, I love your content, your TikTok reviews. Can you tell my subscribers a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Ya. You can find me at Ya Says on all platforms. The Housewives historian. I've been watching reality television since I was like a junior in high school, and I do honestly all things reality TV, from the Bravo cinematic universe to Love Is Blind. And it's such a pleasure to be here today.
Yes, I'm excited to dig in. So, like we were talking about offline, we're going to be recapping the pre-season finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac season 10, Driving on Empty. That is the title of this episode. And I want to know, since we're at the end of the season, do you have a favorite moment so far from season 10?
I have to say, one of my favorite moments was when they were going back and forth at Chazelle's 10 million download party where Robin was not at, which I find very questionable to say the least. But I like that moment because it was finally like a real group scene and we kind of had the men's input, so to speak. But there
Mhm.
have been a lot of moments where I'm just like, finally we're getting some traction. It took a decade, but we got here.
Yeah, I love that scene too. I especially love when Stacey was pointing at
Yes.
Cookie. That
Yes.
lives rent free. I think
Yes.
my favorite scene was actually some episodes later when we get to Colorado and Angel is standing there with her hat.
Yes.
The hat tilt, that's my favorite scene from
Yes.
this season. It
Yes.
was so hilarious. Angel, she cracked me up, and I know she wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah, yeah, and I am an Angel apologist. I know a lot of the girls are not seeing for her, but as I always say, there will be a point I will be vindicated. I will be when it comes to Angel.
100%. I've said this as well in my recaps. I think that we've given her a lot of fever in the earlier
Yes.
parts of the season,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I was like, there's an Angel renaissance that is coming because they bullied her too
Yes.
much, right? So
Yes.
the audience, we as an audience, we love an underdog. And
Mhm.
so once we get to the point where it's okay, y'all can lay off of her a little bit, the audience starts to feel bad for that person. And then
Yes.
instead of, it doing what Giselle and Ashley hopes that it does, which is
Mhm.
like ice the person out, it really endears the audience to that person. And I think that is exactly what's happening with Angel. Because now I'm seeing record numbers of people saying that they want her back for another season.
Yep, when it was before, that's not
Hmm.
what the girls were saying. It was a lot of backlash on Angel.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We look, great minds think alike. We knew.
exactly. We see each other.
So when we go into this episode, it's the continuation of their outdoor bar scene at Kimo Sabe. That's why I'm wearing the cowboy hat again, because we are still in damn Colorado, which like 3 episodes, I'm ready. I have altitude sickness myself. Okay. So they are debating on whether or not they should stay at the hotel or go fly fishing for the next day. And I am so like curious about you. I hate doing activities right before I have to fly out.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
are they trying to do anything other than eat food?
Exactly, and it's too close to anything. I wake up, I get my little tea, my little spread of sausage, bacon, everything, pack my stuff, I pump it. I'm not going fly fishing hours before I'm supposed to be at an airport. And I was in Denver coincidentally a couple weeks ago, and that city is very spread out.
Yeah.
Nothing is close together whatsoever.
Yeah, it seemed really weird to me that Angel will plan an entire day, the
Mhm.
day that or an entire activity, I should say, the day that they fly out. I would have been like, "Hell no, Angel, sorry, girl. I
Yeah.
know Wonderland specializes in fly fishing, but I'm not doing that not this go round, okay?"
No. No.
And then Giselle thinks that Angel says Bobby too much. I don't know. I kind of thought it was a little normal.
I thought it was normal too. It's
Okay.
especially as somebody who is a mother. Yeah, you're just gonna check in with your partner and say, "Hey, change of plans, talking about Bobby. I'm so sorry that she can't count on Jamal, so she's not used to that. So when somebody can count on their partner, then she says his name too much. Well, you would know if you could count on somebody.
Hello. That's where I was sitting. I was like, I did cringe a little bit when Angel kept being like, Bobby gave me a stack. Bobby just sent me $5,000. Bobby wanted to jump a private jet. But when Giselle said it, I was like, I don't feel you on this, sister. Very normal behavior to me.
I completely agree.
So they get back on the PJ, heading back to Denver. And I just want to ask you, I did not realize Wendy's heels. Did you see the heels that she was wearing?
Yes, very tall. And honestly, a lot of their outfits this entire trip, I was like, where are y'all going?
Looked like completely different events, like
Yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
yes, yes. But
I
I
didn't
mean,
understand it.
Potomac, so it's apt.
Somebody, Kevin, Bobby, I just had him on the last recap. He called it the little engine that could. Like Potomac is always a little engine that could, because we were specifically talking about that scene where they went around in a circle telling each other how much they spent. Not beating the allegations, Potomac.
Never. I
Sorry,
see. There's
girl.
no way this is what I'm watching. Absolutely, it can't. It cannot be. Just show the prices like you normally do. Not I spent X, Y, and Z. And then when Wendy was talking about the money, I said, Wendy, sweetheart, it's really getting to a point. We need to wrap it up.
What are we supposed to do now, Wendy? So they get in the car after they get back from the PJ, and Angel is telling them that she doesn't like fish. She like drops this bomb on them, and it's crickets. And I was like, this is such an awkward moment.
I just every when I see those certain scenes, I said I'm praying to God that this is edited because Angel, it's bizarre that you want them to fly fish hours before going to Denver International, and then you're also saying I don't like fish. Girl, give me the ribs and the coleslaw, and we can pump it. We don't even need to do all of this. We
That's
don't.
it. We could have just gone back to your fabulous home, had a
Yes,
dinner there, and we
yes,
would have been they would have been better off because
yes.
as we see in the rest of this episode, the fly fishing never happened anyway. So it was a bust. But
Mhm.
Stacy in this scene, so for me, there's a couple times in this episode, Stacy's slip was showing a little bit.
Yes.
This
What?
was the yes, this was the first of a few where she goes, "We don't care." And I was like, "Ooh, that feels mean a little bit."
Yes, and I had noticed it a few times, even last season. And when she met with her friend AJ, who had come to visit her from Detroit, AJ said pointedly, like, "This isn't you." I was like, "Oh, so you're seeing the same thing that we're seeing?" Because he said it. They were sitting at a restaurant, like, "This isn't who you are. This is how you act." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" That very like pageant TV voice that she does, and that whole "we don't care." I said, "Oh, the Detroit coming out." It's coming out quickly. I don't know who you're trying to put on for, but it's coming out.
It definitely was coming out. I was like, "Oh, the mask is slipping a little bit." And I tweeted out like, "Stacey has some meanness about her." And I cited this scene and one later on. And everybody's like, "Well, of course, we all have meanness in us." And I'm like, "Well, yes, that's obvious. I know that. I
Yeah,
know that."
yeah.
But what Stacey has shown me is that she is on the same level as the rest of these girls.
Exactly. Exactly. She is not different. She's the same, but she hides it very well and under the guise of, and I think she knows internally that she is the fan favorite. So she's
Mhm.
able to play that when she's on TV.
Absolutely, but she also is benefiting from the fact that she's being ganged up on, right?
Yes.
And like I said, we talked about at the top, the audience loves an underdog. So she's
Yeah.
also she can take it. She handles it way better than, many of these girls have,
Yeah.
especially Angel. But I'm like, she's also benefiting from the fact that a lot of the cast is like at her throat. So,
Mhm.
I still see it for Stacey. I still like her, but this scene I was like, ooh, I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
Mhm. Mhm. With you.
Yeah, so then they arrive at the Four Seasons, which, apparently is Giselle's second home. She's a Four Seasons girl.
As somebody, so I travel a decent amount, and as somebody who really does stay in luxury places, there are other places. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. If there's a place I'm going to go to, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Four Seasons," I'm looking up to see what other luxury hotel I can stay at. And Giselle, you guys were in Austin playing chicken shit bingo, and I remember season one, Robin didn't have any hot water in her home, so now all of a sudden everybody is Four Seasons, Four Seasons, Four Seasons. What is you wear a wig with no part, but you mean to tell me you know the pinnacle of luxury? Like I said, it can't be. And you guys stayed there for less than 24 hours. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I, all of that. Everything you just said. I am so curious, but like I said in my last recap, maybe she's a 4 season girl after since last season or like this season, right? She's a
Mhm,
veteran housewife. She's 10 seasons in. The
mhm.
coin looks a little different for Giselle
Yes.
these days.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
maybe, I'm all for a girl evolving and upgrading her life. So maybe now. But it's like, sweetie, don't act like that's what it's always
No,
given.
it hasn't, never gave.
Cause we saw y'all at
We
that
see what
Motel
you
6
mean,
when
though.
y'all were in Austin.
Giselle, you got 3 kids you putting through college. Keep it exceptionally cute.
Keep it there. Keep it adorable, honey.
Yes.
Okay. So Angel, they go in, they look at Giselle's room. I was curious about why they only showed Giselle's room because Giselle was the only one saying. Because at first I was confused. I was like, so she got an executive suite, a presidential suite.
Mhm.
Are the rest of the girls going to sleep on the
No,
couch?
no, they were pumping it in the full beds in the regular $350 a night. That's what they was. It was nobody's suite, that's for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly it. Once I saw her room, I was like, and they didn't show the other rooms. I was like, oh, they
Mhm.
have. Hey friends, just wanted to pop in really quickly to remind you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. I can see from my analytics that I get quite a bit of traffic from being on your YouTube homepage. And so I would love to have you as a subscriber and a friend. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and share this video with a friend if you like what you see. Talk to you soon. Bye. Those regular basic rooms
Yes.
with the
Yes.
mini fridge, and she has
Yes.
the big mama suite.
Mhm.
Okay. But
Mhm.
Angel is telling them, "Hey, there's a plan tonight. We should go to a honky tonk bar." And I, as someone, I've never been to a honky tonk bar. I really want to go to one. I was excited to see this.
I've been,
Well,
and it is very, very fun. However, for that group of ladies, I think it would have been insufferable to watch them. We've seen in previous cast trips, Giselle goes to bed around 8 p.m. And I've noticed that when Giselle goes to bed, everybody else just takes right on, I'm going away, nothing more to film. Da, da, da. I feel like if Giselle wasn't there and she wasn't so gung ho on this is a bad trip, so we have to stay in that like meanness of the trip, they would have been more apt to go. Because I'm sure, obviously Ashley, she ain't never been nowhere, so of course she's gonna go. Then we have Jazzy, very fun girl. Like the rest of the girls, they would go, but Giselle is the whole queen bee. I run this, so they were just like, oh, if Giselle doesn't want to go, then I definitely don't want to go.
yeah, that was interesting to me that they just retired in for the night. But
Mhm,
like you said, it is really Giselle's show. And so
mhm.
until the real face of Potomac shows up at the end, but we'll get to
Yes,
that. We'll get
yes.
to that. So Angel lays out the plan for the next day, and she says that her, Tia, and Kay, they have to go get their things from her home, which is gonna be like a 2 hour trip, and they wouldn't get back until around 1 o'clock. Now,
Mhm.
when she said this, in my mind, I was like, I would be shocked if they come back. Because I
Um,
don't think Angel wanted to be with them. I don't think Angel wanted to stay with them anyway.
no, when I
And
got a big old house with my man and them kids, why do I want to be here?
that's
I
what I was gonna
don't.
say. Do you blame her?
I'm not. My home is a hotel. Why do I stay in a hotel? Because my home is one every. What
Yeah. So when she said that, I was like, we're not gonna see them after they leave to go pick
do
up their
you?
things. But they have a little like a fun piano scene where they're singing and they're freestyling. They're
Yep.
making up a song. I was like, okay, this is fun, but I wasn't really moved. How did you feel?
Me either. Though it seems forceful, and I feel as though you can tell when there is a cohesive group of people that actually like each other, tolerate each other. They're willing to be coworkers, kind of similar to Married to Medicine.
Hmm.
But on this show, it's clear as soon as filming ends, oh, we're done. We go back to our respective lives and we come back. It's almost like you're putting on, you're acting like, okay, and scene. And let's start again and let's do it again. And it's clear from these group of ladies. It was really boring. Ashley couldn't hold a tune. And then Angel said she was a former opera singer. I said, Angel, you need to meet me at sea. I'm not hearing it, Angel. She said you sing. I'm not hearing it, sweetheart. But hey.
I didn't know that about Angel, or maybe I did and I just forgot that she said it.
Yep. She said on an after show that she's a classically trained opera singer. Yes.
You know what though? That actually kind of tracks with who we've learned of Angel to be. Because
Hmm.
when I watch Angel's confessions, okay, Usher, her confessionals, every time I watch them, I'm like, this is it's so boring to me. Like she feels so
Yeah.
boring. No
Yeah.
shade to opera, but I'm like, it feels opera isn't boring, but
Yeah.
it kind of fits her vibe. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that adds up. The whole like healing, I sing, and even when she's doing her confessionals, it's very rehearsed. Like I'm on camera, very Connie Chung, Diane Sawyer. I said, sweetheart, it's a confessional. You can let loose,
Yeah.
a little bit. They're not. They will run the tape back, but not everything has to be so poised. And I'm the queen of Angel. Girl, relax.
Right. It's that journalist in her though. Like
Yeah.
she tries to make sure that it's very serious, very
Yes.
put together. And I'm just like, you're a housewife now. we don't wanna see that.
Mm-mm.
You could give us a little bit more, because I swear, even her voice, like, the tone she takes in her confessionals, I'm like, "Why
Yes.
does it sound like you're trying to, like, be my
Yes.
therapist?"
Exactly. Very ABC 7. Because when I
Yeah.
watch the after show, I'm also expecting that maybe she'll just let loose a little bit more, have her guard down. No. She think it's Good Morning America every single time.
She does, but you know what? Actually, now that we're talking about this, I'm playing all of Angel's scenes back. I think this is Angel just like kind of she's not a high energy girl, actually.
No, I think she's just a mellow type of individual, and I think
Yeah,
she's very sensitive.
very sensitive, and like she doesn't know how to just have fun and go
Mhm.
with the flow. Cause like I'm thinking about her scenes, she never seems like she's having that much fun.
No. No, she never does. She seems bored or out of her element or doesn't really know how to fit in, and I think there's a lot of personalities in this group. If she was in, like, an introverted group, then she would stand out as the personality, but because there's so many big personalities, she's just, "What is going on?" It kind of reminds me of, I think, Kim Fields on
Yeah, Atlanta.
was on, and they had an argument. She was talking about, "I'm calling Andy." Girl, that's not how this works. That is
You
not
are now calling Andy Cohen, sweetie. So sorry.
not how this works at all.
Sorry, Regine, you cannot do that, okay? So then the next day, the girls come in, we see that Jazzy and Ashley actually did go out to a bar, and they seemed like they had a good time. Now, that's a duo that I had never really paid attention to, but then I'm like, "That makes sense." You mentioned Jazzy is a fun girl, Ashley can be fun.
Mhm.
I thought that was cute of them.
I
I
think
Yep, I know.
Jazzy
You're gonna give Ashley some fever, yep.
it's gonna be Jazzy, actually.
Oh!
Jazzy, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Her story
Honey.
of how she got her man don't make an ounce of sense to me, but if she like it, love it for her. But sometimes when Jazzy does certain things, it's almost as if she knows that if she grips that flute too tight, it's going to break. So she's trying to get an ounce of anything. I don't think that she went out of the goodness of her heart. I think she
Mm.
went because she said, "Oh, bet this is camera time because I'm going with Ashley, who was one of the OGs, and maybe that will ease me in to maybe having me full time." Jazzy, what do you and Ashley have? You don't have anything in common. You had a job. Ashley ain't worked since Kingdom Come. You don't have anything. What when she was saying that she had a relationship with Angel, I was like, oh, okay, that like I can see that you're in similar age brackets, like you're both
Mhm.
married, both wags, like that makes sense. What do you and Ashley have in common?
Wait, I think how old is Angel?
Angel is 35 or 36.
So Angel and Ashley are actually closer in age. Jazzy is only like 32 or she's like young 30s.
Yes, but Angel comes from a good upbringing. So, and I think Jazzy also comes from a good upbringing. That's what you don't have anything like it's birds of a feather. Of course, they're going to flock together. So, what do you have in common? You know,
Angel comes from a good
yeah.
upbringing.
So, to me, that makes the most sense. Obviously, I'm going to go with the girl who also comes from a good upbringing.
That does make sense because Jazzy definitely she comes from a really good ilk as well.
Exactly.
Okay, I see where you're going, yeah, I see
Exactly.
where you're going. Y'all never misses a moment to whack Ashley.
And don't,
If y'all go to her TikTok, it's a
don't,
bloodbath every time Ashley Darby is
don't.
coming.
I never do. I'm always ready. They'd have to hate to have me on that couch. I'm always ready. That's why when they let Ashley go, I'm like, this girl is such an easy. What's going on here?
Yeah, I always say that, though, I'm like, "Everybody on there is an easy read.
Yeah,
Everybody. Super
everybody.
easy read." If I was Angel, I would be tearing them up, but, like we said, she's not a lighthearted girl,
No.
so she doesn't understand to do that. So, they are all greeting each other after we see that Jazzy and Angel go out to the bar, and Wendy comes in her Aloe and in her Chanel, honey, and she wants us to know, and I'm like, I didn't know, like, this might I don't want this to come off like classist or elitist. I didn't think Ella was like,
No.
it's not tip top. To me,
No.
it's like regular people wear
Yeah,
aloe.
it is.
The
It is.
Chanel, sure, but to put them in the same category and be like, I'm in aloe and Chanel, I'm like, oh, it's a little high-low situation.
Okay. Prosecution's watching it, taking notes. That's what they're doing. They're like, oh, we got her. We
Yes,
got
oh,
her.
Chanel, and later in the episode when she says dripping in Chanel, which you were not dripping in Chanel, but I'll let you have it.
Wasn't.
So then we get to the next scene, and this is pretty much the rest of the episode because this all takes place basically in these little family vans, okay, these little
Mhm.
3 trucks that they have. And before we even get into that, for a season finale, because we know this is called the preseason finale, but the next
Yes.
episode it's all about Karen.
Mhm.
Did this feel like a setup for a season finale?
No, it did not. And I think they were trying to recreate Salt Lake City, how the last 3 seasons they end on a trip,
Yeah.
but those girls have the range. Potomac, they don't. So you need just a little bit of something. And I had watched the after show,
Mhm.
and Angel said that they left the Angel's place at 9 a.m. And we saw the ladies left the hotel at 11:30, and the women were also supposed to leave at 9 a.m. When I saw 11:30, then they said, "Oh, you have 5 hours left." Fly fishing's not happening.
Yes, I was like, Y'all are not getting anything done here." And then the amount of time that it takes to just get to the you have to get to the place,
Yes.
do the thing,
Yes.
leave the place, and go back to the airport. Stop
Yes.
playing in my face. Like, production knew that was not gonna happen.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, so we're in the trucks, okay? Alright, subscribers, try to keep up because it goes back and forth between the trucks.
Mhm.
Very hard to follow as someone who's taking notes and, like, needing to talk about this because 'cause I'm like, "Well, conversations are happening, and then we're going to somebody else, then we're coming back to these same conversations, so let's just do our best, y'all,
Yeah,
okay?
we're gonna try.
We're gonna do the best with what we got," in the words of Mariah Carey, alright? Giselle reveals that she doesn't chat with her mother that much, and I was like, "Ding, ding. Everything makes sense now."
Mhm. Yes, it does.
Everything makes sense. The way that she interacts and approaches relationships with women, all of that starts with your mother.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is why. Yeah, I would love to know more about that because they flash back to a scene with Giselle and her mom from the show, and I was like, I don't recall ever seeing her mother on the show.
I remember, but it was almost a decade ago. I think this was her
Yeah.
first or second season that she was on the show when we saw her mom. After that, we would just hear her call her mom very
Mhm.
quickly, and then we would get it, but we wouldn't get anything else from that. And I don't even think it was till season 8 that we found out that she had siblings. I thought Giselle was an only child for the longest time.
Yeah.
Siblings. What's going on here? But when she said she don't talk to her mom that much, I said, there we go. And I find it so odd for you to be that way, especially because you have daughters.
Daughters, yeah, especially because she has daughters. I don't know, yeah, that made sense. I always feel bad for women, though, who don't have close relationships with their mom
Yeah,
because 'cause I'm like, "Me and mine,
same,
that's my ace boon." Okay, so I
same.
can't imagine that, but yeah, it made a lot of sense. She has, some people call it a mother wound, right?
Mhm,
I don't know if I wanna go that far, I don't know enough about it, but it kind of tracks with the way that she approaches relationships with women, so
agreed.
very interesting. So then in the other van, I keep calling them vans, Vicky Gunvalson's Impact, okay? The other truck, Jazzy, Stacy, and Wendy are chatting, and Stacy tells Jazzy, she's, "Hey girl, I need to chin check you really quickly about getting Sharice's number and like kikiing with her at the event." And I'm like, I didn't think that was that big of a deal.
I think it goes back to, again, Jazzy just wants to be on the show. She's itching to latch on to anybody with somebody a screen time. Why are you talking to Charisse of all people? Because she knows that Charisse has a decent relationship with production.
Mhm.
Charisse is pushing 60. She could be your mama. There, you can't tell me the only thing that you and Charisse have in common is that you're both wax. Only thing. But
Mhm.
Charisse does basketball, you do football.
Yeah.
Jazzy, what are you doing right now?
It's so interesting because I just had Jazzy on the queue,
Mhm,
and we were talking about that a little bit, and she was just like, and she also said this on her recent interview with the Reality Rundown. She's
mhm,
grateful for the platform, but she feels like she's not doing too much to be on the show. She feels like, "Hey,
mm,
it's a good platform. I'm grateful to have it, but I don't need it." And so I
mhm,
do think that's really interesting that the read from the audience is that she is trying really hard to be on the show or maintain her spot on the show or earn a spot on the show, really like a full-time spot. And that's also something that Stacy digs at toward the end of this episode too. So
mhm,
it's really interesting like what she says versus what people are kind of how people are interpreting her actions, if
mhm.
I should say that. So really, really interesting there. But yeah, Stacy is upset about that. Like I said, I didn't think it was that big of a deal because also almost kind of to your point, right? I don't know that she's trying to befriend Charisse because she wants to be on the show. Because I'm like, Charisse is not on the show either, quite as kept. But I
Exactly.
also was just like, well, if you're in an environment and you guys are all like making
Mhm.
each other's acquaintance and you're building these relationships, if somebody's like, hey, take my number, I'm not gonna be like, no.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Mhm.
that's weird. And even just like the laughing and giggling with her, what am I supposed to do? She's making jokes like it's
Yes.
communal. Am I supposed to walk away every time she comes over here because you guys had a little
Mhm.
bit of a falling out? I'm just
Mhm.
getting to know you too, girl.
Mhm. Completely, completely agree. I just still think to me it wasn't really landing because we saw earlier in the season when she had to sit down with Stacy. So I'm assuming you're having some sort of friendship because I think she also mentioned it was her and Stacy that went down for Mia's party, defunct party that they had in Miami. So I
Yeah,
presume they had some sort of formidable friendship. And I think that's why Stacy was so hurt because she was like, girl,
sure.
I was actually trying to get to know you. And if you, I understand you say you don't need the platform. I disagree because then you would have said, hey, girl, I don't want to film. Everybody's saying they don't need the platform. When that they don't call you back for your next season, I don't want to hear nothing. You would have aligned yourself with Stacy.
Yeah, yeah. You're calling BS on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do I think Jazzy needs the platform? Absolutely not, because I think Darius is going to the Super Bowl. You
it is.
don't need this. You
Yeah.
really don't need this. But you, for whatever reason, want to be on the show.
That's always where I go with it, right? I've heard from a lot of these girls. Most people will be like, they don't need it, they don't want it,
Mhm,
right? I'm not
mhm,
saying this is the case with Jazzy.
mhm.
I go by people's words, but what I will say is this: we know a lot of these ladies financially don't need the show, right?
No,
Monique
correct.
famously told us these little checks are really, not doing a whole lot for her when she was married to Chris.
Mhm.
But I think they love the celebrity of it all,
Oh,
like
absolutely,
being a
absolutely.
housewife, yeah,
Yeah,
we've had a lot of housewives, but it's still a very exclusive club, so to say you
absolutely.
were one, a lot of
Yeah.
people will
Oh,
want
yeah. Absolutely. Because I mean, there's a reason you guys aren't going on Zeus and VH1 and Tubi.
that.
You
Hello.
want to be a Bravo housewife, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, also Bravo does give you exposure to a lot of things, and you keep certain relationships in your life. I mean, look at Candy for a certain reason.
Yeah,
So there is a reason for you to be on the show. Because once
mhm.
you all say that whole "I don't need it, I don't need it," like Monique said, then you look a fool in your outfit at the reunion because somebody took all the alimony money. So this whole "I don't need it, I don't need it." Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
So you think the inverted triangle dress was you think
Wow.
that was like a Project Runway
That was
audition dress?
very much, hey, I can't really pay you, but you baby, you design me a dress, it's gonna be on Bravo. She looked a mess.
I hated it. Ooh, hated it, and it's such a shame. Quick detour, guys. Such a shame because Monique Monique, her face clears.
Thick, beautiful woman. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. When I watched the after show and I'm like, this woman is sickening, stunningly gorgeous.
Yes. It's insane almost. I think she has the best face of Potomac.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bar none.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. Beautiful ladies, but I'm like,
Mhm.
Monique is next level to me. Monique is that kind of beauty where it's just like, how?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
did that happen? Yeah, she's so beautiful. That dress though.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see it in motion though. Like I want to see it because I feel like somebody's gonna get their eyes poked out if they're sitting too comfortable on
Yes.
that couch. That's
Yes.
a
It was very
lawsuit
like
waiting to happen.
futuristic Xenon, the Zequel. I said, girl, what is going
Come on,
on
Zena.
there? She looked up. I was like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at?
What do you know about Xenon?
Oh, I'm tapped in. Decom, been there.
Oh my gosh, wait, are you a millennial?
Yeah. I just always people tell me I just look really young.
You
I get
it's
that.
giving Gen Z a little bit. I'm like, what does she know about Xenon?
I get that all the time.
It's a blessing.
It is. It
It
is.
is a blessing. Listen, okay, so Stacey's pissed off again. This is another instance where Stacey was showing that
Mm-hmm.
mask was slipping, that slip was showing. I'm like, the way she was talking to Jazzy, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, Stacey. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, the Detroit was definitely jumping out of her.
Yes.
And I was just like, why don't you take this form with the other girls?
Okay.
She does laugh it off though. I mean, so it's a step above what Angel does. So
Yes. Angel
we gotta
just
give her that.
sulks, cries. I'm like, Angel, sweetheart, do something.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so she was getting a little spicy with Jazzy in this truck, and Wendy hits her with the loyalty you expect from your friend. you better be able to give it. And I was like, oh, where are we going with this, Wendy?
Wendy, you know what? Not the biggest Karen fan. However, Karen did say that Wendy is a friend to no one. And I said, you know what, Karen? You're right with that because it was clear the entire season everybody had an issue with Stacy. And it was a last ditch effort late in the midnight hour where Wendy was like, okay, well, I now need to do something. Because all that ta and yelling in the car, you're not going to do that to me. Because Wendy, who are you?
Yeah, it was really interesting because she was especially turned up, but I think I could understand where she was coming from though, because if you're
Mhm.
in the car and you are hearing someone tell a lie, that would annoy me too. Because it's wait a minute,
Yeah.
you are not being truthful about this. So I
Mhm.
understand it a little bit, but yeah, we have heard that too about Wendy and some of the girls. They don't hear from Wendy that much after filming
Yes.
is done. So it is interesting. But hey, her Wendy like Giselle, they are there to do a job. And
Yeah.
Giselle will tell you when cameras go down, I'm
It's a
clocking out. Meanwhile, whoop, in the other truck, Angel, Tia, and Kay are lost apparently 50,000 feet in the air, according to Kay.
Casey, I'm going to talk about coordinates. Coordinates. Girl, you guys are not Lewis and Clark. Pull up the GPS and figure it out.
Kay cracks me up because she can be an airhead complimentary,
Yes.
right? And it's always so funny to me. But I was watching their truck. I was like, this is the most boring truck.
Yeah.
I hate that for them.
Yeah, nothing was going on. Angel just, and I can imagine them going up the mountain. Word to Sheila, not Shake and Go Sheila, but Tyler Perry Sheila.
Yeah, trying to save their marriage.
Exactly. And that's scary with the altitude. And then it's rocky. And then they're filming you. You're stressed. You already know these ladies don't like you. So it's adding a lot of fuel to the fire. Tia don't
Mhm.
know what's going on. Kay don't know what's going on. And then you're supposed to be going fly fishing.
You know what? When you just said not Shake and Go Sheila, the Tyler Perry Sheila, it's I knew which Sheila you were referring to, you were referencing, but Shake and Go Sheila really just hit me because it just hit me that you're talking about that lady's mother.
I'm telling you, Ashley don't get a break from me.
No, no rest. No rest.
No rest for the wicked. Ever. Ever.
That is so funny because it hit me. Wait, like, hold on. That's the yeah, I can't. So we get back to Monique, Giselle, and Ashley are in their truck. They are talking about the Chris and Stacey thing. I'm so sick. Please dead this. I don't want to hear it at the reunion. I don't give a
This Chris and Stacy debacle. Chris is single. Stacy is single. Why do we care? Why do we care? And we really need to put our thinking caps on. You think Stacey gonna date a man? Them draws, you can use it. It's a fitted sheet. You think she gonna date a man with fitted sheet draws one and 3 kids? What is going on? And Monique said that man was hell on wheels. Why would Stacey involve herself in that situation? And I found it just so odd. The previous episode, when Monique said that basically her ex-husband was kind of playing chess with the kids, don't bring me up on the show, or the lawyers are getting involved, this and that. As soon as that Chris situation is brought up again, you could have clocked Ashley right there, girl. Give it to, as in the words of Miss Nene, girl, stop it. Because then I'm gonna get something again from my ex-husband talking about this, that, and the third. Let's wrap it up. Nobody cares.
yeah, it's so late, and Monique pays it every time. Like, that's the thing for me. It's like you
Yes.
got Ashley, you have such a hard on for this situation, and Monique couldn't care less.
Ever. Ever, ever. Nobody cares. And it's been 3 months. We are 3 months in. Nobody cares about what they did, what they didn't do. If she don't care, Ashley, why do you care? And even Ashley bringing it up in the moment, I felt odd about it because Monique had so much smoke for Stacy, so much anticipatory smoke for Kiarna, maybe Charisse, maybe Cookie did it, but then Ashley said it, and you could tell like when Monique pressed Ashley, Ashley kind of took a step back and was like, oh well, maybe no, stand in it. You said it, stand
Thank you.
in it. And she was hoping Giselle would help her. Once again, Giselle's a friend to no one. Giselle's in like, girl, you got it. Because if you saying this, you putting out there, you got it.
Yeah, yeah, and what you're referring to is the fact that Ashley finally told Monique that she's the one who asked Chris about
Mhm,
sleeping with Stacey, which is like
mhm.
also so messy. Like, who, in the words of Kim Fields, are we really grown as women? What did you say? Talking to each other like this or talking like this? Whatever. Are you really a grown woman
Yeah,
asking a man if he slept with another
weird.
single grown woman. Who cares? You
Ashley,
shouldn't care.
you kid, you need to be finding a job. You always talking about how you gotta take care of. You need to be looking for a job. Get your mama away from that 10 off the Woodrow Wilson Bush. Ashley, you like these are not things you should be concerning yourself with.
No, but when you don't have a storyline, this is what you do. You try to make everybody else's life your storyline.
Mhm.
It was so weird. And yeah, I was like side eyeing Monique too because she was like, "Why didn't I didn't know you told me that?" If that was anybody else, Monique would have checked them or attempted to check them.
Yeah.
But she's really not wanting to go against this like Ashley and Giselle friendship that she
Mhm.
has. And it's
Mhm.
actually so interesting to see to me because I don't know if you picked this up about Monique. Like whenever she's with Giselle or her and Giselle are getting along, Monique laughs a little bit harder at the joke.
Yeah. And when she had that sit down with Giselle, I don't even know why I was mad at her. Girl, Monique, don't start. Do not start because I'm gonna get annoyed all over again. She tried to bring something onto the show about your child, and now you're gonna sit down and break bread with her,
And
and
it's not
now
that
you
big of a
want to be
deal.
friends with her.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Questioning the paternity of my child. I don't know if we could come back from that.
Ever, ever. I wasn't buying her or them essential oils. It wasn't making sense.
Or that book.
Or that book, Flow Like a Butterfly, Sting Like Monique. It wasn't making sense. Was not making sense to me. And the book, when she was reading it out loud, what was it called? Letters to Monique, Memoirs of Monique, whatever the book is called. I said, girl, what's going on here?
Right. Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel or something like that.
What a name. Number one, what a name.
Very, very
What
interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna see that on my Barnes& and Noble
I will
table.
not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'll
So,
buy The Pursuit of Portia before I buy Memoirs of Monique.
actually, I think I Memoirs of Monique.
the
I don't know. You might be right.
name is so ridiculous.
You in my Memoirs of a Geisha? I don't
It's
know. I
Studios.
don't know, Miss Monique, Miss Gorgeous, gorgeous face Monique.
Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous.
So Monique tries to tell the ladies like Chris is messy, so he could have been lying as well. They don't want to hear that though.
Don't.
They don't want anything that goes against their quest to like defame Stacy. I
Mhm.
know that's strong, but they don't want anything that goes against that, even though Monique, who is literally the horse's mouth, is saying Chris is probably lying
Yeah,
and making stuff
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So
Messy,
yeah,
spicy, well, always a man. And I believe Monique. That man
I
was on wheels.
I believe Monique too in this instance for sure.
Mhm.
So back in Wendy's truck, Wendy is letting Stacey have it. They're going at it. It's an odd situation. It's tense because I'm like, y'all are locked in a car. No escape
For 2 hours.
for 2 hours. And I feel like they tried to diffuse it on multiple occasions. I think even
Yeah.
Jazzy tried to diffuse it when she was like, you took your tall, beautiful ass. That would have been, you would have got me
Mhm.
there. I'm like, thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm beautiful. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
friend. And then Wendy tried to defuse it too. It just wasn't gonna happen. The tension was just too thick at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Angel's van, like we said, they are lost in the mountains, and she needs to not drive up, but she needs to drive down to
Yep.
save her marriage.
Yep.
Okay, so Kay is giving her directions, and they're doing this, and I'm just like, this is when Angel though realizes that they're not gonna make the excursion.
They were never going.
It was never gonna happen.
Angel had so much hope, but I'm so sorry. They left the hotel at 11:30, so that means their flight was at 5:30. You mean to tell me that they would have gotten there at 1:30, fished for an hour, and ate food and changed for a flight that leaves at 5:30? So latest you need to be at that airport, latest is 4:30. Angel, it was never going to, unless you guys got up when the sun was before the sun was rising.
Mhm.
You would have had the time.
Yeah.
Talking about we're not gonna make it. I can't find the place, and I was so upset because that food looked too good.
It did look good, and I was upset that the chef, took all this time. The
Yeah.
the woman Nina, she was there trying to make sure the tablescape was perfect. Like, it
Yes.
looked had they made it, it looked like it would
Oh
have been a
yes.
beautiful experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm a nature girl. I love being able to sit out in nature. That would have been amazing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't gonna happen. Then the ladies decide to stop at a gas station, and I was like, they're gonna have the finale dinner at a gas
At a
station.
gas station.
This is
Four Seasons fish.
That's what I'm saying. Never beating the allegations, y'all. The
I,
little engine that could. A gas
I,
station called the Loaf and Jug. It wasn't even a chain. It wasn't even a Quick Trip.
nah, y'all couldn't go to the Centurion Lounge. Something, get you something to eat. You're eating gas station pizza at 12:30 in the afternoon and gas station margarita. And I am never too good for a gas station margarita, gas station pizza. But if this is what you guys are supposed to be selling us luxury fish, then why are you eating gas station pizza?
It was never gonna give that. You're sitting on the side of the road at a gas station while Wendy is dripped in Chanel, aka two pieces of Chanel. Okay, her Chanel bag and her Chanel keychain, but she's dripped in
Yes.
Chanel. Okay, girl.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Mhm.
then they finally get in touch with Angel, and of course, it doesn't go well, obviously.
No.
I was questioning that too. I love Wendy brought it up. Wendy was like, "Isn't this what you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Angel, why wouldn't you just take them to a location that you were familiar with?"
Yes. Yeah. I think that what was supposed to happen is the place that they stayed at, the initial place without the water, probably was closer to the fly fishing spot. That's what I think.
Oh, your
And I think
mind.
the Four Seasons place was farther than the fly fishing place, so that's why it took even longer.
Mhm.
Angel, you just weren't familiar with your surroundings. And I think that this business, honestly, is Bobby's pet project after like the NFL.
Yeah.
And Angel just happens to also be like in the healing, wellness, whatever. She used to have a hiking thing down here in the DMV. I think called like Pretty Girls Hike or something. Cause I had seen it before. So I think like obviously it makes sense. That's what you guys bonded on. But Angel, it's also okay to say, you know what, planning is not my strong suit. Cause you got all these random people, one girl doing yoga, another girl is the event planner, somebody else the chef, and then it's the margarita. Girl, what's going on?
Yeah. It's a lot. It was a lot going on. I did see that people are like leaving reviews for her business, which to me so like I hate when people do that. I hate that. Like they'll decide that they dislike somebody and then they'll
Yes.
go like bombard their business
Yeah.
page with like fake reviews, one-star reviews. That's so lame to me.
Yes. And I think, especially with Potomac, especially and living here in the DMV, I see it all the time. Oh, we want real rich people, real rich people, real. Angel can clear all the girls when it comes to money, can clear. So
Speak
you
on it.
finally bring somebody who is really wealthy, and then you don't like her for whatever reason, and then you want to go and bombard her business. One, oh, I would never go. You can't afford Wonderland. That's one. You can't even afford the ticket to Denver. So that's one. You were never going to go because you can't afford it. And two, it doesn't bode well for even other people who might have thought, oh, I might come onto Housewives. Is this the way, y'all gonna be acting? And I think, like, from my understanding, if you for every like negative review you need at least 10 positive reviews to even that out. That's just how the Google like business algorithm works.
Oh
So
my
this
god.
scamming about, oh, I watched the show and I didn't like it because Wonderland, and you guys, you need to everybody needs to get a life.
That part. That's
Yeah.
what people need to do.
Because for me, somebody like me, I'm not like a big nature girl, but the way that Angel has set up Wonderland, I understand like the intent. I'm like, oh, this is something I could do because it's just almost like glamping, and I'm
Mhm.
in my nature. So yeah, it makes sense to go do it out there. But for the rest of the girls, you guys don't. You can't even go to REI. Like you can't afford even a snow snoot. You're not. You're definitely not going to nobody's Aspen.
Hello.
Maybe Busch Gardens. Maybe. Don't even. Oh, I'm gonna go. It's just weird. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
It's so weird. I hate it. I wish people would stop doing that because I also feel like Google should be able to contact Google and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, these are all fake reviews." Like connect with these people and have them show proof that they patronized my business. And if they cannot show proof, you should remove this
Agree.
negative rating. Yeah.
Completely agree.
I hate that. So Angel tells them that the experience is still there for them if they want it. And this girl, they are ready to go home.
Girl, they checked in for their flight. They got a couple hours. They're pumping it. They're not coming too hard.
They are ready to go home, and then Giselle's on the phone with them, and she's, "How is Tia getting home? Because Tia's the only person I care about." And then Kay is so upset about that, and Giselle tells Kay, "It's because you're supporting Angel, and you're on the wrong side of history."
Which
What is
is
she supposed to do, G?
like that's her friend of 20 years. If you mean to tell me, Miss Robin, I'm so happy Ron wasn't here, Dixon was here. That's what you would like. Giselle, she irritates me so bad. Like you're 60 years old doing this. I hope I'm never
You
that like
know,
auntie mean nasty. Giselle, get a grip on reality, please.
please do that because that was so, and it was She was doing it on purpose. She was purposely trying to
Yeah.
isolate and
Mhm,
make Kay feel bad by
mhm,
talking about Tia in a more favorable way. But
mhm.
yeah, the bright side of this though is it seemed like they enjoyed their gas station pizza.
I mean, I wouldn't have eaten it,
No.
especially across a flight back to the East Coast. Y'all got it.
Yeah.
But if they like it, hey, they was in Austin doing it, so might be a
I
level.
checked out. After they checked into that hotel in Austin and it was on a construction site, I was like, "I'm done." It was also because they were being very nasty to Candace on that trip too, and I was like, "I
They
can't watch this."
were, they were,
Yeah,
they
I
were.
can't watch this. So I don't even know how the rest of that trip I don't know how the rest of that season went, girl, because I was like, "I'm tapping out."
It was mess. I
Yeah.
mean, Potomac.
Mhm. Exactly. So Jazzy thinks that Stacey really only cultivated their friendship because she needed support within the group. I could also see that being a
Yes,
truth. Okay.
yes,
I don't think that was a big lie. Stacey tries to clear Jazzy though and says that Jazzy would be friends with anybody in order to stay on this show. Now, that's not wrong though.
it's not.
That's what y'all all are doing.
Correct. Everybody wants to be on this show for a reason, whether monetary, whether fame, for whatever reason. And you need somebody to like you, somebody to go to bat for you, whether it's one person, everybody in the group, you need something. You can't be standing on an island by yourself because that's what ended up happening to Candace. She was standing on an island by herself. They're like, oh, well, if you can't, almost like play nice because they're always going to side with Giselle, then girl, you got to go.
Yeah. Wendy checks on Stacey again and basically saying, as friends, we should be allowed to disagree with each other. Stacey is, no, I actually wanted you to side with me, even though I was wrong. And it's like, that's not how real friendships
No.
work. Okay. Trust bonding real friendships.
Friendship.
That's not how
Yes, Miss Quad. I'm also a quad apologist.
I like quad too. I honestly, I like all the girls on Married to Medicine. Like people have really strong feelings about some of them. I'm like, there's been times when all of them have gotten on my nerves, but like something
Yeah,
about them is so near and dear to me that I'm
I
like, I could love
agree.
them.
I
Yeah.
love them. I love, 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 love. They're great to me.
So the episode ends, like I said, and we get the end card. So I'll just go through all of them.
Hmm.
Okay. Stacy, her and Timo
Yeah.
are going strong, but they're not trying to get remarried. And if they did, they wouldn't invite Jazzy. Okay.
Eh,
Who cares?
no one.
Who cares?
Would Timo
Wendy,
invite anybody from the show?
right. Timo doesn't want any
Nobody.
he doesn't
No.
want any of them. I
Mm-mm.
did think there was an interesting thing that happened after they showed this where they showed Stacey's end card. Wendy was rubbing Stacey's butt. And I was like, this feels oddly intimate.
It does. It does.
I was like, there, like I'm not trying to start any allegations at all. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm just speaking on how it made me feel watching it. I was like, I don't know if they should have kept this in because she was like caressing it. And then
Yeah.
Giselle comes over and is like making her smack it.
Yes.
And I'm like, what channel am I watching?
I said HBO.
Yeah.
It was a little much. I said, oh, all right.
Like, okay, girls, get a room. Okay. So then Giselle's in card, she lost the fight over her father's will.
Hmm.
You're not, yeah, it was a long battle. I mean, it was an uphill battle, I should
It was
say.
an uphill battle. I just think there are pieces to that story that we are missing.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And knowing Giselle, she's never going to give us
Ever.
everything.
Ever.
So,
Mhm.
but on the bright side, her daughter is an AKA. And I'm like, that's not, you can't really compare those two things, but congrats to her daughter.
We didn't hear about it in the show. And you guys are just adding that because nothing happened for her during the show.
That's basically it. So then Wendy, 3 months after the trip,
Sister, she ain't doing Lord.
when that played, I was like, no, no, because facing felony charges and up to 15 years if convicted, Wendy, no, do not pack my girl up for 15 years.
And they said 3 months later. I said, damn it.
It's only you didn't need to be dripped out in Chanel. You wouldn't have felt the need to do that.
Because
Damn, Wendy.
coincidentally, they start filming around the time that Wendy goes to trial.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
her
Oh, right. I did hear that.
was mid-April, and they always film around cherry blossom season here, which is always the first or second week of April, but they actually moved up the trial to early March. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start filming sooner because of her trial.
Right. Oh, let me ask you this. Housewife historian, okay? Did you also hear that they offered Wendy like a special deal to be able to like record all of this, like the trial and like this whole ordeal? I heard that she got paid like an additional sum of money to allow them to film every detail of this.
I heard that, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that
Right.
because from my understanding, they don't send out contracts until after the reunion is aired to us because I think they want to gauge the audience's reaction. And I don't know if Wendy necessarily has any leverage in this situation
Mhm.
because if they say, "Hey, we want to film your trial," and then you're asking for more money, they can just be like, "All right, girl, we'll just wait till the trial is over and then you'll just film like the regular season." You
Mhm.
need to pay them attorneys. You got three mouths to feed plus a home plus student loans. So I would find that a little bit difficult to believe because for previous housewives, it's unfortunate that there's been so many who have
Yes.
been in jail. They not everybody's gonna get like the Teresa Giudice type special where because who was Wendy? I mean, they still filmed without Karen, so I don't
Right.
know if I don't know if she necessarily has leverage in
Mhm.
because Karen being like not the show, but a solid fixture on the show, they didn't really negotiate anything for that, from my understanding for her. Because I'm sure they paid, but you also get paid per the episode. So I'm
Right.
interested to see how they'll maneuver that.
Yeah, that is very interesting too. I heard that and I was like, I never take anything as law unless
Mhm.
I actually hear from Bravo or like they
Yeah.
announce it or something like that. But I wanted to get your take on that to see if you heard about that too. But I like what you just said there. So then Ashley's in card, her and Josh are on and off again, and she's writing a children's book. I'm like, another one. We didn't see any, we've never heard you mention even knowing how to write, Ashley,
Okay.
first and foremost.
Okay, we don't care about you and Whack Harlow. Definitely don't care about you and the children's book because you can. Ashley is so. This woman, what can you teach my child? What can you teach my child? No, don't write a book.
Mhm.
Where are your credentials?
Where's your income, Roach?
Exactly. Now you're writing a book, girl. I guess
It's gonna be in the same bin with Memoirs of Monique.
exactly.
That's that's
Exactly.
where that
And
that's where
you
that book
have Monique help you write that book since y'all so close.
it's okay. Her and Greg are better than ever, but she's prioritizing the business over the marriage. And the only piece of jewelry that remains or that she has from the jewelry store is her picture frame.
Okay. All right, Kay. All right, Kay. Kay.
Okay.
Kay. If you like it, the rest of us we hate it for you. You like it, then keep on pumping, girl. You know best because she was on been so many interviews. We're not gonna do what other people want us to do because we're different, and we just have to keep. Girl, you're doing a lot of talking. You don't gotta tell us anything. Me and Greg are good. When we get married, you guys will know. Boom.
Mhm.
You don't have to do all this.
Yeah.
You like it. He likes you being there. Hey,
She's trying to convince herself, I think, that
yes,
she's okay with it, and that's the story she's telling herself is, "We don't have to
yes,
do what everybody wants us to do." No, baby, you told us that's what you wanted. That's why we want it for you.
exactly. To me, she's way too beautiful to be with. But you know what?
You know, that hey, speak on it though, because every time I see her, that's another one I'm just like,
At her
"Wow.
face,
Wow," because
every
every
single,
angle is a good one.
every single one,
I
make
love
her
that for her.
sick every single time.
Yep, love that for and I love that for Greg too. He's
Yes.
punching above his weight for sure.
Oh, not even we're playing in different leagues. You're playing different sports.
Yeah.
Different sport. G League, NBA.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
absolutely. Come on, sports knowledge. Okay. So then Tia, she's continuing to build a relationship with her sister
Mhm.
and no more house parties for her kids. When it got to Tia's in car, I realized Tia did not have much going on this season.
She didn't, but I remember on the early like seasons of Housewives Inception, the premise was literally they're just showing us their lives.
That's
So
true.
for me, that was like fine because before Housewives never had storylines. It was
Mhm.
just them showing up their lives, and obviously they would manufacture like certain sit downs or whatever. But there was nothing like happening. So for something like that, I'm like I'm okay with it. But for Giselle, who really never shows us her life, somebody like Ashley doesn't really show us her life. Somebody like, or at least these past few seasons prior to Michael's misgivings or SLC, where Heather she's learning from Giselle also doesn't show us her life. I think like for Tia, like that works for me because she's like a newbie. She gave like enough. You know,
Sure,
very like,
sure.
oh, witty, fun. I'm just here, my accent, my husband, my pretty kid. You just keep, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that, and that was my thought process too, like, she didn't have a lot going on this season.
Mhm.
She's a really good support housewife, though, supporting
Yes.
housewife, right? I think she's good in group scenes, right? Like you said, she always brings the fun. Kids
Hmm.
are beautiful, they're so cute, right? I do think she's serving a purpose.
Oh, for
For
sure,
sure.
for
So I
sure.
absolutely wanna see her back again, and then, yeah, Angel, we get to hers. Angel said knowing her is a privilege, and I'm like, "Oh, you
Angel
should
lost.
act like that more then, Angel.
She
You should
lost.
act like that more." But her end card says her and Bobby are still living in Colorado, but they just bought a $2 million home in Potomac.
So I found her end card very interesting because I felt as though it was shade from production. Because she said that they still live in Colorado, but she says they just bought a $2 million home. It wasn't, and they bought, but you're saying you, that's what she says, so we gonna take it. And I was like, this is shade. This is
That's a
this.
good catch.
Yes. I was like, this is because nobody else's end card had that. And I was like, this is shade. They
Oh.
set you up for the okey doke, and I could even tell with the editing from the jump.
That's a really good catch. I wasn't
Mhm,
even thinking about the
mhm.
framing of that. You're absolutely right, though. Yeah, she says they bought a
Yes.
$2 million home in Potomac.
Mhm.
So we get the black screen, and it tells us 2 months later, and the Grand Dame is released from jail wearing her relaxed fit jeans and
Yeah.
her braids.
Yes.
I was like, look at Karen. Look at Karen. She's out.
She is. Jail does the body good.
You know?
You really put your head down for 6 months, you'll be fine.
I am curious to know her mindset though, because I just feel like I I can't picture Karen in jail. I'm so sorry.
Me
I
either.
just can't picture like, when she walked out, I was like, Ashton Kutcher is about to run out any moment and tell us, like, the last 6 months were, like, a scam and that Karen didn't come like, she wasn't on this season because she got a facelift and she was
Yeah.
recovering. That's
Yeah.
what I was hoping for, but no, my girl really was locked up.
Yes, for
Oh,
6 months. But honestly, I feel like never been to jail, but I feel as though the time that she went was honestly a really good time. You go in the spring, you're out in the fall.
sure.
You didn't even have to cross a New Year's, didn't have to miss really big holidays. I feel like
Yeah,
it was a nice, honestly, it could have been just a long vacation, but it was jail.
it was jail, so
If I was ever gonna go to jail, God forbid,
please
that's a
don't.
cute little season
Yeah,
to be in jail.
like, please stay out of jail, girl.
She was talking all that mess. Now look, she locked
Oh,
up.
girl, Ashley Darby is coming for you if you ever go to the
Honestly,
slammer. Ooh.
she will be ready to go. But that's a cute little, season right after
Yeah.
Easter, right after Labor Day. Boom, boom. A quick one too.
You do make a good point. You make a good point. So, season finale is next week. We get our Barbara Walters style sit
Yeah,
down with the Grand Dame and Andy
yeah,
Cohen. When they were doing this or showing the preview for this special, I was like, this is Karen's show. Giselle is the face of Potomac Network wise, but this is Karen Huger's show.
yes. I'm sure it's gonna break records.
I'm excited about
This
that.
is like my Larry King.
Yeah.
Like like I am so excited. Mom, where were you when Karen got out of jail? Let me tell you, groundbreaking history. This is I'm so excited. Like what's the Super Bowl? This is what I will be seated for. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So listen, that's it. That's the preseason finale of Potomac. Before I let you go though, y'all, can we play a little game?
Sure.
Okay, so everybody that comes onto Channel Surf, they play this game. It's called Dinner Party Guest List. And
Okay.
the way that this game goes is you are throwing your dream dinner party, okay? And you
Okay.
get 5 invites to this party. Now, this is the most fabulous party you will ever throw,
Okay.
okay? You
Okay.
get 5 invites, 5 Bravo celebrities. Which 5 Bravo
Oh,
celebrities are you inviting?
Quad from Married to
Okay.
Medicine.
Yes.
Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. Marlo from Atlanta, but Marlo as a friend of, not Marlo as a full time housewife. Not a big fan of 265 days a year, but I'm going to have to bring her. She was like a fun time. Miss Portia.
Mhm.
And the icon, Miss Lanithia Leaks.
Oh my gosh. I love first of all, you had that ready to go. So we got Quad, Dr. Heavenly, Marlo, Portia, and Lanithia Monique Leaks.
Yes.
I love that. That's a good time to me.
It is. It
I'm gonna be
is.
peeking through the window of that dinner party. But with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for coming by to chat with me. This was so much fun.
Course. It was such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. Let my subscribers know where they can find you and follow you if they don't already.
Absolutely. So you can find me on TikTok at Yah Says, on Twitter at Yah Says. I have been bombarded to be on YouTube, so you can also find me on YouTube at Yah Says, and hopefully someday I will get a podcast out because the streets have been asking.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into my recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac with Ya. Make sure you guys go and follow her. Like you heard her already on this recap. She whacks Ashley Darby every chance she gets. So if that is what you're looking for, that is your girl. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.